about right. Fairly consistent. Fairly consistent, and consistent. Maybe one more number higher than normal. Okay, so that'll work. That'll do for me. I don't feel like doing it anymore. Just fucking get a goddamn headache from this. Just gonna go ahead and get this out of the way now in case anybody's out there maybe wondering, trying to get to stage 6 or something like that. It's a little bit late, so I'm kind of ready to turn in today. First and foremost, this is the team that I've been using for a while. For a little bit, it was, instead of NOIR, I believe it was Naga. Pretty sure this was before I got max limit break on NOIR, but this is what I was using, and this was the skill investment cube that I gave her. I think the yeah, it had crit rate. It had max ammo, which is kind of what I wanted. I have since then replaced Naga with NOIR, just simply because after the big pull that I had, NOIR was a lot more useful than Naga. Also, I had to invest heavy into Naga, and I would like to know when the next skill reset comes so I can rip away those skills and give them to somebody else, because she's not really useful by this point. So this is just a team composition that I've been using for a little bit now. Free to play, no real money, no real anything, just some shitty luck, but that's really just about it. Leader's there for obvious leader things, just big buffing really. There's not really anything to be, there's not really much to explain when it comes to leader. Most noble is to upgrade that burst skill as much as high as possibly can. I think this is where I'm going to be stopping for the most part when it comes to upgrading skills for her. Cooldown reduction, you want to burst as much as you possibly can, and everything else is, really don't give a shit. This is just, the attack and crit damage is actually pretty solid. Cover rarely gets destroyed as far as I'm aware of. I don't think it even gets touched. Cube that I gave her was the hit rate cube. Gear's been pretty much normal. I haven't bothered putting her back on the wish list because I don't care if she shows up or not. Shadow Scarlet, first of all, is probably what I would consider to be the main primary damage dealer throughout the entirety. If you didn't see it, she did well over $1 billion on her own. She does have one core investment, and I think I got that. I bought Shadow Scar probably when her story came out or whenever the event came out. I didn't care to get her. I didn't want her. I figured, why the fuck would I waste my time with her? She, whatever. Eventually, she became useful, so here's where she is now. Invested into her helmet, chest, and gloves. The boots, you don't need to worry too much about. It's all it gives is just HP and defense, as far as I'm aware. It doesn't do anything for you. Heavy rolls on a lot of shit. I'm not fucking kidding when I say there's been a lot of fucking rolls and custom mods, custom locks burned through just trying to get this shit going. So, pretty much everything you see here, and that was an unfortunate, really good lock, but not really something I wanted. And then now that. The primary takeaway is you need just element damage, really. If my number is correct, and I think it might be, with all the element that I got going on here, 1935, 1655, 1935, 2075, some 66, 76 point some plus 10% more from there. I'd say I'd have probably roughly around 86% element damage. This is, of course, presuming that this is additive to that and not multiplicative. I'm not really willing to do numbers, so therefore I don't give a shit. Skill investment wise is 10, 8, 10. I kind of feel like this doesn't even matter by this point, really, simply because of all the ammo capacity that I've been getting for her here, and I think here. No, just here and here. And I wasn't really paying attention to how much ammo she has. Quite frankly, I don't really care. Cube, I gave her the Resilience Cube. It's the highest one that I've got that I think I really don't. I don't know what else to really give her. I've been like tinkering around with a shitload of this fucking build, and quite frankly, I got too much of a headache to really care. This basically Shadow Scarlet's the main primary damage dealer. Crowns, crown things. Crowns just there for really just crown, just being there, whatever. That's really unfortunate fucking roll. I haven't really put much into this. I've been wanting to upgrade this and this so I can have more casters attack, more HP because her skills obviously got it. Yeah. I wanted max ammo. I wound up getting black line defense. Thanks, game. Appreciate it. That's the best thing about almost all of this is it's no dead skills or stats on her, so I haven't really bothered to re-roll her since then. Skill-wise, it's just all for one. Primary reason why I want more attack is so I can get this skill to do more attack, to give more attack to everyone whenever she goes in the burst. Or whoever bursts, which is alternating between the Redhood and Shadow Scar. I would like to improve this. I would like to put more skill into it. Realistically, though, I don't fucking care. I really don't. Cube is the bashing cube. I think I wasn't really paying attention to the ammo reserve that she has, but I think it's somewhere around over 500 points. So that's at least close to 650 to maybe 700 rounds, which is fairly solid considering that skill 2 here kind of relies on her landing as many of these shots as she possibly can, so that way she can, none of this really matters right here. This doesn't matter. It's just really that whenever her recovery takes into effect, everyone gets more attack. Hence why I don't really care if she gets hit or she gets the invulnerability or whatever. You just want to build that stack as much as high as you possibly can. Believe you me, I've been trying to get max ammo rolls, and again, the game says fuck you, I have defense. Solid. Obviously you want to burst with her as much as you possibly can and whatever, but it's kind of important that you make sure you have at least a relatively good shield rotate or burst rotation going. So yeah, max limit break. Didn't really care to get crowned. This is the last time I actually listened to somebody in Discord telling me to get somebody, which I don't listen to anymore. Why do you have a red line on your dot? Whatever. Red Hood is Red Hood. She's part of my main squad, hence why she's been upgraded. She's got core 2 investment. That's really just about it. Gear or overload stat wise is, I don't think anything's really changed for the most part. I think it's all remained the same, so I haven't really actually that did change. I think I got rid of hit rate. They wound up giving me all of this in the process. I would like to actually get more charge speed, I think, or charge damage. I don't remember which one. I'd like to get more attack. I'd love to get more ammo as much as I possibly can. It's just that the game says fuck you. So yeah. Skills are maxed out. There's really nothing much to say about it. And cube wise, I just gave her that one because I think everybody else is using something different between arena and other crap. Yeah. And last but not least, NOIR. Again, it was Naga, but Naga was getting me up to 1.9 billion, and I think after I rolled all my shit and got, I think she was either at max limit break 1 or max limit break 2. I don't really remember, but once I got her into core 1, skill 1 suddenly became a little much more useful, and I was just again tinkering around with a fuckload of things, and quite frankly I got a headache from it. Stat wise, she has actually had this has been the same since then for a long time, and since then I don't have her in my main crew no more because I don't care to have bunny girls that are not really useful for me in the current campaign, or really not really useful at all except for the tribe tower. I would like to replace them in the tribe tower as much as I possibly can in the future, but yeah. Overload stat wise, hit rate, attack, hit rate's fairly fine. Been wanting to re-roll that for a while, but yeah, it's been a crapshoot. I rerolled this one today, I believe, and it wound up giving me more ammo, more element, more attack, so her numbers kind of actually jumped up a little, so that's pretty good. And of course, more ammo and defense. Main thing to take note is that skill 2 is pretty fairly good for everyone here. It refills everyone's ammo, gives a little bit much more ammo to particularly like Redhood and Shadow Scar. She wasn't really part. She was part of the mix-up where I was trying to figure out what's working for me and what's not, and this is kind of why she's been replaced. This is why she replaced Naga, because of that core investment plus the increase of interaction ranking, which gave more bond, more attributes, which increased the attack. Very solid. I don't ever burst with her. There's no reason to. She doesn't need to burst. It's just basically between Redhood and Scarlet. So there's just that. Her utility that she got here for this is always active. I at least try to keep it active. This is why I try to keep a burst rotation. Why I try to get shield up as much as I possibly can, so that way she doesn't eat damage for whatever reason. And then there's this. Yeah. Cube wise, I think I got her. Yeah, just the assault cube, aka hit rate cube. Right? Yes. So there's that. How this works is basically I burst either first with Redhood or second with Redhood. And I think the way I did it was I bursted first with Redhood, bursted second with Redhood, and then bursted third with Redhood. I think I can actually just reverse that first burst rotation and just have Leader Crown and then Shadow Scar and then burst second with Redhood. Because regardless of how you look at it, that third burst rotation, I need to get that up ASAP, or I can delay that tentacle being snapped off by 3 seconds, I want to say. The problem is that my mind seems to think I need to kill all the damn time. Don't ask. Anyway, so I always forget to delay destroying that second tentacle, so that way I can at least stall out for 2-3 seconds. That's probably what I really need to do. And then from there, the rotation just keeps going. I try to burst as much as I possibly can, as fast as I can, so that way I have that shield going. Obviously, Leader does cooldown reduction, plus gives big damage. Crown will always be the burst 2, no matter what. And then it will either be burst 3 between Shadow Scarlet and then Redhood. NOIR will never burst. NOIR is there basically for utility, for more attack, plus increase in ammo to these two. Well, everyone really, but these two benefit the most from it. And then refilling ammo, which means that there's no downtime. So that's why I would like to have as much uptime as I possibly can, or try to burst as fast as I possibly can. The way I have this all set up is pretty much as you saw in the video or saw earlier. I just didn't really bother commentating on that because I didn't really care. But it's always going to be first rotation. Well, like I said, I've been bouncing between Leader Crown and then Shadow Scar, or just Redhood first. I bursted first with Redhood this time, and then Shadow Scar the second time. If I delay that second tentacle kill, then I think I can actually not worry about having to decide who I want to burst first with. But I feel like if I burst first with Redhood, I can destroy that second tentacle ASAP, kill off the back rank tentacles, and then actually, by the time the second rotation comes around, I can actually DPS that second tentacle and then leave it alive just long enough for NOIR to actually finish it off. Or Crown. Mostly it's NOIR. I try to go with NOIR. I try to make sure that I do have burst, at least burst with Crown. That way I can get that shield up, because if you didn't see, Kraken does an AoE blast attack that can literally destroy the shield, but leaves my Nikkes undamaged. That's kind of the idea. As far as I'm aware of, going into cover doesn't do a damn thing. It doesn't prevent damage being dealt, and I try to actually cover dodging that, but I don't think it works. So I like to make sure I keep that shield up ASAP as much as I possibly can, so that way NOIR skill 1 doesn't actually fall off. And then from there, it's just this matter of just bursting ASAP, so that way I can just get more damage going and blah, blah, blah. There is some hiccups here and there, mostly the element shield that kicks in, so I'm not able to actually do as much damage as I possibly could with Redhood. which means I should probably burst first with that, but I kind of been having the same exact clear time with that, which is always 2.3 billion. So I don't think, regardless of whether or not I burst first with Redhood, second rotation or first rotation, the numbers seem to always be the same. What else? I take control of Crown mostly because machine gunners are easy to take in control. They have pinpoint accuracy, so there's that. Whenever I'm not bursting and we're not in full control, I try to take out the tentacles with Crown, and then the back ones anyway. And then from there, I use Crown to take control of my aiming, so that way I know if I'm hitting the core with Crown, then everybody else is hitting the core just as well. Except for, well, I mean, everybody's trying to hit the core. I know if I'm hitting the core with Crown, then the accuracy on core hits on that tentacle, on the front two tentacles, at least is going to be relatively high. During the deep dive, whenever it goes underwater, I try, if I'm still within burst duration, I'll put everyone into cover, I'll take control of leader, and then from there, I will try to take out the red circles ASAP with leader. I do not pause buff. I hate pause buffering. It's a shitty technique. I think it's never worked for me in any way, shape, or form, and quite frankly, I don't care enough to actually do it. I feel like it just breaks up the flow and pretty much throws off my entire aim. It's also why I turned off burst animations as well. I think after that, it's pretty much just trying to delay destroying those tentacles as much as you possibly can. After that red circles have been destroyed and resurfaced, I did swap over to Redhood because I didn't really notice it, but I think I kind of saw a little bit of burst generation going. But it seems like even if you aim at the ground or aim into water before Kraken comes out, Redhood will still generate a stack of what is it? Wolf? Howling Wolf? Whatever it's called. Glaring Eyes. That's what it's called. Wolf and bullshit rotation, whatever. But I had noticed that I actually started building up some stacks. I was trying to actually generate fast enough burst rotation during that. And I wasn't really getting anything, but I did notice I was building up a stack with that. So it was kind of a little bit of a weird thing, especially since if I use any of these other ones, like say Leader or Noir, they won't fire until Kraken starts surfacing. And, you know, there's a little bit of a window between that. Crown's kind of not really helpful in that, mostly because machine guns will always fire, and the same with Shadow Scarlet. So that's kind of one of the weird things I've had noticed about that. After that, during the second phase, third phase, whatever you want to call it, I tried to delay those tentacles, killing the tentacles as much as I possibly can. Problem is again, I have that mentality of I need to kill everything ASAP. I'm glad I don't really have that problem in real life. At least not yet, anyway. I've been getting to stage 6 relatively reliably, so there's that. In case you don't know, getting stage 6, I think you need 2.194 billion. And then afterwards, you need 3 billion in order to get to stage 7. Stage 6 is where I'm at, where I'm comfortable at, where I'm going to stay comfortable at. And the main reason being is because anything after stage 6 and stage 7 is a bit of a fucking waste. I don't know why Shift Up seems to think that this is a really good idea. Stage 7 is kind of where you want to actually hit, but I don't really care enough, mostly because once you get to stage 6, the rewards for custom locks and equipment pretty much stays the same throughout the entirety of the thing. Getting to stage 6 just means that I get 35 shards of custom module shards instead of 37, which is like 2 less. Just getting to stage 6 is enough, mostly because 30 plus 30 plus 30 is 90, plus 5 plus 5 is 10, which is 100, and then you get that one extra 5 left over, so that's 105 custom shard. 105 custom shards that you get almost on a daily basis, which means that eventually you'll be ahead But considering that stage 6, you'll almost guarantee to get yourself at least one custom module. So there's at least that. At least every, I think it's every clear. So there's that. And then when you get to custom module box level 6, it's a small, teeny tiny, concave, small little chance of getting 3 custom modules. I've been somewhere around maybe 2 to 1, but realistically, 1 is pretty much what I could probably get. But then the game on you also just says middle finger to you, fuck you, you ain't getting a goddamn thing. So at least getting to stage 6 is pretty much where I'm stopping at. I'm not really gonna be bothering doing any more major investments in this sort of fucking thing. There's no real reason to go for 2 more pieces of shards, just like there's no reason to go for 2 more % of custom modules when the percentile is literally fucking the same thing. At least I think it is. Is it the same? No, it just gives you 2 more % increase in custom modules here, while the 1% remains the same. So yeah, stage 6. This is pretty much what I use for the entirety crew. So, again, I did have Naga, but at one point she was helping me get to 1.9 billion. But realistically, Naga is just a fucking waste, I guess. I don't really know. I know how she works. I have an idea what she works. It was a really relatively interesting little bit of adventure to have her in there and stuff like that. Main problem is that she wasn't really doing anything for me. I don't know if whether or not it's when the shield goes away, it just takes away the attack, which I presume is the case. But the numbers wasn't really anything really too impressive, and it was just kind of like, well, I don't give a shit. So anyway, this is just something I use. I didn't realize that it requires 3 pilgrims. You'll get through eventually, I'd imagine. I'm not using Alice, first of all, or second of all, third of all, whatever you want to call it, mostly because I fucking hate tap shooting, and this game's tap shooting mechanics is absolute fucking garbage. So, that's just core 6, really. Just give a brief explanation about it, because anybody was wondering if they needed to use Alice to get to stage 6. Yes, baby dick, we hear you. And the answer is no, you don't need Alice. And one more thing, I completely forgot about the dolls. So, phase 0, SR doll for leader. Kind of regret giving her that one. Phase 10? No, phase 5, doll for Shadow Scar. R doll for her. Unfortunately, the last machine gun doll that I had, I gave to Guillotine. Not really that bad. I probably would actually give her an SR doll just because it's a giant amount of HP and attack that you can get, and because her skills kind of rely on that, you may want to do that. SR doll for her, I think she's, yeah, phase 5 as well. And then last is NOIR, who has an R doll. I did have an SR doll shotgun, but I gave that to Pepper because Pepper, well, she kind of actually deserved it. So I figured the next time I get around to something like that, I'll probably wind up getting SR dolls to either her or to Crown. I'm looking more at Crown because really, like I said, I hit stage 6. That's as far as I really want to go, as far as anybody really should actually bother wasting their time to go to, unless you have something to prove. But anyway, those are the dolls.